Hello everyone, as you guys are working on your wireframes and your final design for your assignment 2, my assumption is the way that you create the frame will be to select the frame and then to click on the iPhone 16 Pro Max template and then go ahead and do a rotate canvas over here, right? So I think that's how most of us start the process. However, this may lead to some issues, especially if you are implementing the scrolling feature in your prototype later on. Okay, so let me just illustrate with these two examples. So I have a series of boxes kind of laid out side by side, and I want to implement some kind of horizontal scrolling. So on the top frame over here, I've actually created the scrolling using the framing method, and at the bottom over here I've duplicated the frames and I have created the scrolling using the auto animate approach. Okay, so when I try to test it out, okay, the first approach using the frame, it just flat out, it doesn't work. Okay, and then the auto animate approach, it sort of works, but it's very hard to scroll. In fact, the scrolling feature, right, feels like it's tied to the wrong axis, right? So when you're scrolling down, it actually moves to the left, to the right. Okay, which is not how you want to implement it. You want to do it, left and right instead of up and down, right? Yeah, so this short video, I'm just going to show you what is causing the issues. The main thing that is affecting the scrolling, right, is that if you were to select, let's say using this first approach using the frame, and you examine the transform, there is some transformation, -90. Okay, and this is because we flip, or rather we rotate the canvas, so everything is -90. Similarly, over here, if you click on the select on the group, right, yeah, it is -90 as well. So how do we resolve this issue? Okay, so let me just go ahead and just work on this. So I don't want to create too many wireframes, too many frames. So I can select on this frame, and I can simply go ahead and convert that into 0 or change that into 0 degrees again. However, you can see that the boxes inside the frame, right, are affected as well. So no issues. I can just resize the frame like so. Alright, and then in my layer hierarchy, I just go ahead and select the boxes and rotate them within the frame. Okay, and then just shift them to its intended position. So right now I have a frame, right, and it is 0 degree in terms of rotation. Alright, so let me just test it out. Flow 3, I am able to scroll it properly. Okay, so if you were to execute this scrolling using the auto animate feature, no worries, it can be resolved as well. So let me just go ahead and delete this second state. Okay, so after selecting this first group of boxes, okay, right now you can see that they are -90 degrees in rotation. Let me just right click on the group and just ungroup. Okay, so right now they exist in the correct degrees. However, you will notice that this frame, right, is itself is 90 degree, -90 degree. So what we want to do is we want to turn it back to 0 degrees and just flip around the dimensions. So for width it is 440, height is 956. We're gonna flip that around, so width becomes 956 and height becomes 440. Okay, and then I can select, okay, this and just rotate it. Alright, and then I can go ahead and just group this, duplicate this, move this here. Right, and then I can go back to my prototype mode. Okay, select on this entire group and just link it here using drag. Click on this, link it back here using drag. Okay, so let me check out this flow again. Yep, it works. Left and right movement. Alright, so this approach is a bit more this fix is a bit more troublesome, okay, because you need to adjust the entire dimensions. You need to flip the entire dimensions manually, and it may cause certain things to also be affected. Okay, so one way is you can actually group everything, okay, that doesn't require scrolling. Alright, and then you can actually let's say just create a new, oops, wrong template. Okay, create a new frame. Okay, set the dimension correctly. Alright, and let's say besides the scrolling features, I have other miscellaneous buttons spread over the page. I can simply select this entire frame and just move into and dock it into this new frame. Okay, so it inhabits the correct rotation value of the frame that I just created. So that's another sort of way. If you, besides this scrolling elements, right, you have other buttons present in your wireframe and you don't want to go through the trouble of having to rotate them again. Okay, so just take note, if that's how you start the process, right, by rotating the canvas, it may lead to all these problems, and this is how you can go about solving them.